I am Adam Gulla. I run Krav Maga Northern Beaches, which is an Israeli self-defense system, and it focuses on self-defense, and we teach people how to become confident through learning specialized skills in self-defense. We have a lot of fun, we focus on fitness, we have a great club and a great club feel. So I got started in Krav Maga about 8 years ago, 2007, and I had trained in many different martial arts, and I even competed with boxing, many bouts, MMA, and even competed internationally in wrestling and some other events. And I found that they were all wonderful. However, I got into a few little conflicts, and I soon realized that what I was training for and training with didn't quite work in some methods. So I thought to myself, I've been training for 15 years in these arts, how come what I'm doing is not working in reality? So I sort of went back to the drawing board and thought about, well, what do I need to learn and how do I need to be more efficient in my training? And then I came across Krav Maga, and I could soon realize straight away I knew that it had all the answers. It was simple, it was effective. I went along to a class, it was fun, it was taught in a fantastic manner, and I knew straight away by the way that they trained that they were safe, but at the same time training for real life situations and being very effective in the manner in which they trained. So that's why I've been training it for the last 8 years. I'm traveling to Israel every year to do an expert level camp, which is 8 days of fantastic training with the best experts around the world to make sure that I keep my skills up and have the best training so I can provide that for my students at the club. I have a young family. I've got Chloe, who's 3.5 years old. Lucas is going on to 2 years old, and my wonderful wife Heidi is a physiotherapist as well. Chloe comes a few times a week, which she enjoys those classes, and yeah, they enjoy the class and coming along and seeing all the other kids and getting involved. Krav Maga is designed for real life situations. So a lot of the moves that we teach people are based on natural reactions. If someone gets grabbed or choked, what's going to be their natural instinct? And that's where the moves are formulated, opposed to a traditional art which may have moves that are probably a little bit old or outdated in some cases. So Krav Maga is very modern, and the moves are based on being simple, gross motor skills and attacking vulnerable points. That's why it's so effective for women's self-defense. It's so effective for knowing how to defend yourself on the street, or even for a child when it comes to knowing how to deal with a bully. So with children, generally we teach them to avoid situations. Same with adults. We'll teach them to avoid the situation, be conscious of their body language, negotiate their way out of situations. In a short period of time, we get people confident and competent in self-defense. So in the Krav Maga, it's coming from the Israeli Defense Force, they have a real short period of time to train their soldiers up so they can actually survive. The same methodology is approached in Krav Maga. However, for civilians, it's just, teaching them to be safe. I moved to Darwin about 6 years ago and started a Krav Maga school there, and straight away it was very popular. And in a short period of time, we grew from a handful of students to 330 members after a few years. So I knew straight away that we're onto something good. And at the same time, a lot of people in the club were benefiting. After a few years, we moved back to Sydney where our family was, and we've just started Krav Maga Northern Beaches. And straight away as well, after opening the doors, we've had lots of people interested and many people coming to the classes, wanting to find out more, wanting to book their children into classes. We're running heaps of workshops for people and really having an impact on the community as well. So Krav Maga Northern Beaches have classes for kids. We have a Tiny Warriors class, which is 3 to 4 year olds, which focus on basic self-defense and gross motor skills. I used to be a physical education teacher, so that program has been designed specifically for that age group, and I started that program for my daughter, who was 3 years old at the time. Then once the child moves from the Tiny Warriors, they move up to the Mini Warriors, which is in the afternoons at 4 p.m. And that class is designed for kids that are age 4 to 6 years old. And then we have the Little Warriors, which is 7 to 9 years old, and then the Warriors, 10 to 12 year olds, and then the Teen Warriors, which are from 13 to 17 years old. The adult classes are obviously for someone 18 years or above, and we've had some students that are 65 years old come along and try Krav Maga. And I normally say to someone, if you're willing to learn and open and willing to train with us, we're willing to help out and adapt our training methods to make sure that we can be accommodating for everyone. So if you want to find out more about Krav Maga Northern Beaches, visit our website www.kravmaganorthernbeaches.com.au or like us on Facebook.